Well, hey, boys and girls. Welcome back to the old Square the Circle Music Corral. I'm your old pal Mage, remember me? That's right. I'm that guy that likes to talk about circles and squares, music appreciation, all that wonderful stuff. You're stuck here again with me this evening, and we're going to go over a lot of what we usually do in the first part of the week, and a little episode I like to call Tales from the Thrift. All of the wonderful gems I found throughout the week at the thrift stores, secondhand stores, junk stores, all that great stuff. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Found a couple of cool cassette tapes. I like to fish through the cassette tapes all the time. You can generally get them, $2 for $1 or five, even $5 for $1 sometimes if you're lucky. I only found two in the last few days. They're getting kind of picked over, but this first one I'm pretty stoked about. It's called Introspection. It's a bunch of Atlantic Records, mid to late 70s jazz artists. Yeah, so I'm excited to dive into this one. A few names that I recognize, but not entirely, really famous guys. Well, Chick Corea, Hubert Laws, Keith Jarrett. Yeah, huge names. Gary Burton. So, yeah, cool jazz, fusion jazz, all from the Atlantic years. I'm thinking like probably 74 through 78, it seems like. So yeah, that should be pretty fucking fun. And a cassette by Bela Fleck, famed master banjo player, and his band, the Flecktones. I've never seen this album. I don't know anything about it, and it looks to be one of his earlier albums, probably very early 90s, maybe even late 80s. Man, it's so hard to read the print on these cassettes. Yeah, stoked to dig into this. I love Bela Fleck, always have. Got an LP from my sister and brother-in-law as a gift a few years back. I still spin that. I guess it's an EP that he did with his wife. What is it, Abigail? She doesn't go by the last name of Fleck. Abigail something or other, but they do dueling banjos, but not redneck, cross-eyed, Yonder Mountain type of dueling banjos. It's very beautiful, wonderful album. So yeah, stoked about this Bela Fleck. The album is called nothing. It's first album, I'm assuming, upon us. Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. So that'll make for a fun afternoon. Lots of great CDs this week. Again, I found another. This was on my last episode of Tales from the Thrift. I found another double disc Bowie box. Like, fucking rad. It's in immaculate condition. Yeah, it's just the singles from 1969 through 1993. So that's why I picked it up, because it has a lot of stuff that wasn't on that last double disc. I bought a bunch of his much later career stuff. So I guess you could say middle to middle late career in the 90s, but that's pretty fucking cool, right? More kind of like blast from the past stuff. I love picking up stuff that I haven't had since I was a preteen. It's fun for me when you can get it for $1 and I haven't listened to it in 20 years. I mean, this was this was everything to me. The summer between what would be sixth grade, 6th to 7th grade. So I was like 12 years old and was already getting really heavy into rock and roll, but this guy was still the shit, and I still loved this album. Doesn't everybody love Michael Jackson? Yeah, and Dangerous was the shit. 1991, Macaulay Culkin's in like a music video with Michael Jackson and talk about it's okay being black or white or whatever. Fucking great album, dude. Dangerous is a cool album. All kinds of really fantastic art in this. I remember fishing through this, and the lyrics are, super corny and cheese dick. It's Michael Jackson, whatever. But the art is fucking cool. The production on this was just absolutely epic. On Epic Records. And I don't remember who did the production and all the engineering and recording of this, but it sounds magnificent. So yeah, really fun to kind of have a little blast from the past from me. I'm not too cool to buy an old Michael Jackson album. More blast from the past for me personally. This is some of that nerd shit, some of that awesome nerd shit that I love so dearly. But this was an album that my mother had when I was, again, like a preteen, and I grew up listening to this. And I didn't only grow up listening to Celtic folk a ton, but it was the kind of new age experimental electronic Celtic folk as well that my mother loved and appreciated. She really loved contemporary music of all types. And so into the 80s and 90s, it was really fun, listening to all the crazy shit that my mom would buy. My mom was really, had a really great taste in music. So, but this just has tons of even the lay person who doesn't listen to Celtic folk particularly very often, you'll recognize the jigs and reels and the bits and pieces of, even stuff that bled over into Americana. You'll recognize these tunes. You're like, oh, where did all these cowboy songs and American folk music come from? Oh yeah, from all of the Celtic nations and countries and places in the world. So, songs like The Butterfly and stuff like that, they're very famous. So I love and cherish this Narada series, Celtic Odyssey. Fucking badass, dude. 91, I think. 93, rather. 93. Always fun to find that kind of stuff. Man, this is all just kind of all from the same few years. 91, 92, 93. I love this. I guess this was the EP they put out, right? Between Sap, or no, was Sap the EP that they put out in between? I don't know. I can't remember. This looks to be a full-length album. It's got 7 tracks. But yeah, The Jar of Flies. I think it was 92 or 93. But it's got the Whale and Wasp song, No Excuses, Stay Away, Rotten Apple to open the album. So yeah, pretty amazing album. Love that haunting sound of Alice in Chains, tragic story. I mean, whatever, not really. Lane Staley, boo-hoo, sucks, but fucking homeboy Jerry Cantrell is he's the songwriter of all this music. He writes all the music and did an incredible job doing all the lead vocals and backing vocals to Lane Staley. Yeah, he truly is kind of the godhead of Alice in Chains, and always was and always has been. I don't know why people get to worshiping those frontmen so much. I guess they're driving the band to a certain degree, but I don't know. All I'm saying is I appreciate Jerry Cantrell's artistry much more. And I love this album. Really cool to get a nice, clean copy of it. All these things, super clean as a whistle. Love it. Here's another one that I wouldn't normally buy, but if it's $1, and I'll just give it the go, because there's nothing bad I can say about Bob Marley. I've never listened to reggae. I've never particularly liked anything about the culture and what it is. I don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. I'm just saying nothing about reggae ever really turned me on. So I never listened to it. And even Bob Marley, of course, the, mega icon legend he has been to many cultures and many people and generations. Yeah, he's awesome. So I guess I better get more familiar with his music. So yeah, here I go. Watch me. I'm gonna start getting more familiarized with Bob Marley. I'm excited. Okay, here's shit that's more up my alley. Love the shit out of this guy ever since I discovered him. What must have been about 2004, I think, he came out with an album called Love is Hell. And I just happened to be going through a very, very tricky period in my personal life and my love life. And I see this album and just his crazy face looking all coked out of his mind and just got his heart ripped out of his asshole, and just kind of I know that guy. He's just like me. So I buy the album and I spin the shit out of it, and I absorb every little bit of it and love it and adore it dearly. Never listened to a lot of his earlier career. It just was a bit kind of poppy sappy for me, but it still fucking rocks. So I'm gonna give this one a really good try. It's just called Firecracker, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry, this is Gold. There's a song on here called Firecracker. Didn't he have an album called Firecracker? Anyway, Ryan Adams. I love the shit out of Ryan Adams. This album, Gold, must have came out probably in 2000, maybe 2001. something like that. Yeah, 2001. So I'm stoked to get more familiarized with his early on career before I really fell deeply in love with him in that album called Love Is Hell. I have an audiophile copy of that, like a MoFi box set of that with an extra disc, and I showed it off before, but yeah, stoked. Love me some Ryan Adams. Ryan Adams is the shit. And the one I'm really most excited about in all these CD grabs that I got this week, because I know of Daniel Lanois through, of course, all the work he did with Harold Budd, Brian Eno, stuff like that, in the 80s, mid 80s. But, honestly, he's a great guitar player, a great producer, engineer, songwriter. I don't know anything about this album, so I'm very, very excited to have found this and kind of dig into it. It looks really interesting. It's called American Edition. Daniel Lanois, For the Beauty of Winona. Yeah. That's like a mid-90s, right? Something like that. 93. So, stoked to check out some very intriguing early 90s Daniel Lanois. Famous for, he did some production on like some Tears for Fears, and he did some production on U2. He did the Joshua Tree album. He co-produced it with Brian Eno. Made that album just, dripping with delicious sauce. Yeah, you just like bathe yourself in the stuff that he has his name on. So stoked to listen to this. Couple cool fucking live show DVD grabs. I still watch live show DVDs. You can look at all this stuff on YouTube and all that, but I just like having hard copies of shit. We like collecting, right? Media, it's fun. Live DVD show of what caught my eye, besides the fact that it's the Black Keys. I fucking love the Black Keys, but this was a show they did at the Crystal Ballroom, which is near to my hometown, just up the road in Portland, Oregon, is where the Crystal Ballroom is, and this whole live DVD performance of the show there. So yeah, just for a couple bucks, I'm stoked to check it out. Love the Black Keys. This one's pretty cool too. White Stripes. I love White Stripes. And this was like, I don't know, some crazy out of print show under Blackpool lights. I don't know anything about this, so I don't know where they play and what they do. I haven't even looked into it yet, and I'm just gonna throw it in the DVD player tonight and just kind of, take me away, boys, or boy and girl. But yeah, everything's there. It's in magnificent condition. Okay, $4. Thank you very much. Kind of neat. It still has like the original price tag from Amoeba Records. Out of print, it says. Ooh. Whatever. Yeah, so them's my DVD finds, guys. Pretty neat, right? Okay, on to the good stuff. What you guys came around here for. You came around to look at vinyl records, didn't you? I know a lot about you guys. More than you think I do. Pardon me while I wet my whistle. Hope you guys have been having a good week. So far, well, we're only Tuesday. We haven't made it very far, have we? That's okay. That's all right. We keep each other energized. And we bounce stuff off each other here in the vinyl community. And here on this planet, we're all stuck together. So let's make the best of it, shall we? Hey, do me a favor while I got you here. Why don't you go visit me on the old Instagram? Drop me a line. Give me a heart. Do the thing. Like some of my pictures, Would love to see you there. Follow me, would you? And don't forget, here's a reminder for all of you folks and for you new guys and gals to my channel. If you've never watched my goofy little channel before, scroll down about a month in the history of my videos and you'll find a thumbnail of a video I did that looks like this. And watch the video. It's a contest that I devised. And you just need to tell me a little bit of information about yourself. You can do that. You can just comment. I'll see your name. You'll say, hey, buddy, I subscribed. That's the rule. That's the only rule. You have to subscribe to my channel. And you have to tell a friend. And your friend has to subscribe too. Yeah, whatever. Let's get me 500 subscribers. I'm trying by the end of this month. By May 1st, I wanted to try to get 500. I know, lofty goal. I shot for the moon, and I'm going to fall flat on my face, but that's okay. I'm a newcomer somewhat to this whole, YouTube video thing, and so it's just fun. I just thought I'd give myself a little bit of a challenge while doing this, and I've just been spitting out fire, guys. I've been spitting out content for like months, just cranking it out. So check it all out, do my contest, and that's all I got for you tonight. Nope, just kidding. Got a whole big fat pile of records to show you that I got at the junk stores. So here we go. I like to buy kind of cool, stuff I hear and have seen in record shows like throughout my whole life and never really given a chance. I always kind of write things off as like, oh, it's just fucking dad rock. Or, oh, it's just kind of like hippie shit that I'm not really into. That kind of thing. But pardon me while I adjust you guys. Yes, sorry. Had to adjust that. Got a reminder of some kind. So I like to buy stuff that is familiar to everyone else, but not to me, so that people will stop making fun of me. I've never listened to Humble Pie, and so I don't know anything about them. This album's called Smokin'. I like the very simplistic, cool artwork, and of course, I always double check everything, and when you find a record like this for $3 that is absolutely pristine, you buy it. That's what we do. So, yeah, cool one. Tell me all about Humble Pie, guys. I don't know anything about them, so I guess I could just get online and research them, but I don't wanna. I just want to listen to their fucking album called Smokin'. Probably 1972. So stoked about that. Again, this is something that I probably should have been listening to for quite some time now. Sorry, Jennifer. Shout out to you. I love you, sweetheart. My mom's super best friend, one of my great friends that I grew up with, kind of a second mom in some certain scenarios and situations, right? Love you, Jen. But you always told me for years, you need to listen to Joe Walsh, kid. And I was always like, whatever, Jennifer, shut up. Joe Walsh, don't know anything about him. I mean, he was the guitar player in the Eagles for a very short duration, wasn't he? Seems to have a wonderful sense of humor. I know that you, Jennifer, would not steer me in a bad direction, so I guess I better give Joe Walsh a big fat try. His album, So What? Been seeing it for 20 years or more in record boxes everywhere, and I've never bought it, never give it a shot. So, cool fucking insert, great art. It's really colorful, and whoever did the production aspect of it did a fucking wonderful job. So let's see if the music kicks ass. I'm sure it does. Excited to give that a spin. Another one I've owned before in the past. It's been probably 15 years or more since I've had this and spun it, and so I just saw a really great clean copy of it. I love this art. I used to have it hang on my walls. Robert Laws. What's the album called again? Or sorry, Ronnie Laws, my bad. Ronnie Laws, and the album's called Pressure Sensitive. Super awesome funk fusion, jazzy funk, Cosby jazz, man. It's fucking Cosby music. Yeah, it's fucking great. Heavy. He's the sax player, obviously, so super heavy on the sax, but really funky, great. It's put you in a great mood, make you dance around in the kitchen. So stoked to have a copy of this again. And like I said, I don't turn shit down when it's absolutely pristine, shiny McShiny. You don't turn that down on that Blue Note label, even if it is just Cosby jazz. Fucking Cosby jazz is cool. Whatever. I grew up listening to Cosby jazz. That's what my dad listened to. Cool jazz, smooth jazz. He loved that. He loved that Cosby jazz shit. Love you, Pop. I'm gonna have you on the show soon. Okay, here's stuff that you would normally see me buying, all the time. Anything cool nerd music, anything with beautiful art, space themed, fuck, look at that art. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, I buy shit like this just for the art. But I happen to love, classical music, contemporary classical symphonic music. And this has tons of great hits on it, I'm sure are absolutely fantastic. Composer named Morton Gould, he's the one that made this whole album, but he and of course London Symphony Orchestra, slammed it all out. I don't know if he conducted the symphony while he was doing it, but he did compose a few of these. The opening track is called Windjammer, kind of a stupid name for a contemporary classical composition. But then upon reading about it, which is great in this album, they have a long description of all of the hits, you know, and the opening track he composed, and you know, it has something to do with sailing. I don't know anything about sailing. So Windjammer has, I know, something to do with sailing. And that's what he wanted to do, was kind of just his homage to, like, you know, travels at sea and the sailor's life for me. Yeah, it's great. So I love the art. I love classical. And this is like a super awesome, like, audiophile. First time in digital format. This has, you know, John Williams' composition on it, the Star Wars theme, obviously a Star Wars theme. To it. This was at the height of that popularity, 1979, so they had just released A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back was in the works. So this is all digital, the first digital. So it was sent, you know, master tapes sent to Japan. They remaster it in Japan and do all whatever they do, and send it back to us and slap it in wax. That's cool. So stoked about this. Give it a good shimmering, shining clean in the old Spin Doctor, and I bet it sounds awesome. Here's some more shit that always sounds awesome. These guys, the fidelity and the sonic grace of these guys is, I'm not exaggerating. They truly are like very masterful in the studio and on stage, and their recording style and what they do, the engineering in the studio, it just always makes everything sound so just really fantastic. Is that perfect mix of, you know, early 80s sounding synthesizer drum machine shit, but with, you know, all kinds of like classical and folk compositions and all kinds of wonderful, interesting nerd shit. I'm talking about Mannheim Steamroller. And this is a benefit album that they put out to save a bunch of animals, like in the mid 80s, that had become endangered, I guess sometime in the early to mid 80s. At one point in time, bald eagles were highly endangered. So many animals on the endangered species list. I remember this being a really big fucking deal when I was, you know, a kid in grade school. It was just, everything was just save the fucking whales, save the bald eagles, save the dolphins, save the lions. It's like, I think they managed through years of, you know, efforts and benefits and donations and just fucking save the animals, dude. I think all of these animals are no longer on the endangered species list. Well, pandas probably still are. Obviously, rhinoceros are, but I don't think bald eagles are. I don't think these. I don't think lions are. Yeah, whatever. So we're saving the wildlife tonight with Mannheim Steamroller. Badass nerd music. Love it. I better speed things up here, man. I got a fat pile this week. I did good, and it didn't cost me an arm and a leg either. You know, I found some pretty great honey pots where you can wheel and deal and do what you got to do to like take away some wrecks for pretty great price. That's how you can find me going ahead and just, I might as well just get this. I got a few extra bucks. I don't know why the fuck I bought this, but I'll give it a chance. A Diana Ross album that's a musical or it's a movie, sorry. But I don't know if it's in like an on stage type of like, you know, Broadway type musical, or if it's just it's a movie. I'm not sure. Anyway, double disc, Motown, all kinds of great shit. Soul music, everyone loves, kind of classic, you know, golden age doo-wop mixed with funk and soul of the 60s. I don't know. I'll give it a spin, give it a try. The packaging is just gorgeous, and the art, it's got that wonderful texture. You know, it's embossed, and I don't know. Give it a try. Here's another kind of, okay, I'll just give it a try. It's cheap, whatever, and then they're clean. And this one is really cool, super old on that like original dot label. Wicked fucking cool. Nice thick 180 gram wax. It's got like the original dot stereophonic, you know, hype sticker thing there. It's just called the San Francisco Hubcaps. It's an all-woman song and dance percussion troupe. Cool. Like, I'm a drummer. I like shit that's like rhythmic, you know, crazy junkyard tunes. It's ragtime music, all performed by women, and they're playing on all kinds of crazy cool shit. It should be great. I can't wait to give it a listen. And it's in fantastic fucking condition. Practically mint. I wouldn't say mint, but definitely in very good plus to excellent condition. So I'll buy that for $2. It'll be fun. Another fun spin, I'm sure. And this being, legendary folk, icon of Americana and country music. This will be awesome. Pete Seeger. Look at that. Look at that beautiful art. The cover art is so fantastic. Really cool, like late 50s, early 60s. Oh, sorry. Yeah, even early 60s, 64. But yeah, icon of American folk. Pretty cool. Pete Seeger sings a bunch of super majestic songs of the USA. Classic shit. This will be great. Yeah. Red super majestic label. Really cool. Yeah, guys, I scored this week. Some really wild shit. I found just like a few little chunks of some pretty eclectic, really fucking cool shit. Found another Ravi Shankar album. I found like a couple Ravi Shankar albums in the last few months, digging through dirty old crates. I don't know why anyone would ever want to get rid of any Ravi Shankar. Yeah, it's fucking masterful. It's beautiful. Still in that shrinky-doo. Need a burrito. Oh man, this one, it looked really interesting. Don't know anything about it, never seen it. Never seen it. Look at these nerds. They got like Tommy guns and shit. Don't threaten me, motherfucker. Don't threaten me. They're called Paper Lace. Never heard of Paper Lace. This was like, I looked at it, it's like 1974. Yeah, 1974 on the, I didn't check the label, but I've never seen it. Oh, it's on Mercury Records. It's got that cool hype right there. Oh. Can't wait to check it out. I'm just totally blind to this. I have no idea, don't know anything about it. But when you come across shit that you've like been digging for records for a while now, when you come across stuff you have never seen, like, it's worth taking a look, taking a shot. Of course, you run into this stuff all the time. His albums are just everywhere, and they're great. They're really great, but people just don't buy them up, for whatever reason. I'm not going to come up with reasons, but this one I never see. This is a double album of a greatest hits of Leo Kottke. I think Leo Kottke is fucking great. I've had a ton of his albums. What's the black and white one with the armadillo on it? That one's really great. I've had numerous copies of that, but I've never seen this double disc that he did on, it was on Capitol. Yeah, Capitol Records. Just the best, the greatest of Leo Kottke in magnificent shape, double LP, tons and tons of music on this. Fucking tons. Really cool. And on that, it's just in pristine condition on that plum, that dark plum Capitol label. I don't even think this shit's ever even been needle dropped. I love coming across stuff that like has never even seen a player. Pretty cool. Get to hear the best of Leo Kottke tonight. I showed this one already because I did a fun thread video for the vinyl community recently, and we were talking about Atco records. And I brought this out because homeboy Chris Profi, he was showing his BGs. I don't really have any BGs. I had just picked this up, so it was kind of meant to be. I picked this up, and then that night it's like, show me your Atco, bros. And I was like, okay, I will. The Trafalgar. I have a really hard time saying that. Trafalgar. The Trafalgar album. Yeah, ethereal, cool, psychedelic pop from the early Bee Gees. All the Bee Gee brothers, all three of them motherfuckers. Pretty cool. Never seen this either, dude. I was like, what the fuck is this? This bunch of cool Japanese heavy metal. It's like the Japanese heavy metal Kiss of the early 80s. Yeah, some crazy Japanese metal band called EZO or EZO. I'm not sure how phonetically what's going on, but There's dots in between each letter, so I think it's EZO. They play songs like Mr. Midnight. They play Flashback Heart Attack. Here It Comes. I Walk Alone. Yeah. Side B starts with a song called Destroyer. I'm sure it's fucking dope. I just thought that art's really cool. That just like turned me on right away. I was like, what? It looks like some H.R. Geiger shit or something. Super cool. It's just some vinyl gloves with a finger just going like this. But when you initially look at it, you're like, what am I looking at? Neato. Yeah, that should be cool. Some classic goofball stuff, but I mean, who didn't grow up on the Monkees? Even I did. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm a Generation X guy, and so, you know, this shit was kind of beyond me, but my mother made sure that I kind of like had a little bit of the old with the new. And we watched the Monkees. I knew all about them. I knew all their songs and their goofy fucking TV show, Hey Hey with the Monkees. Yeah, I've never seen this one, Monkey Flips. And I'll be honest, when I initially saw it, and I was like, what the fuck is this, Monkey Lips? What? What the hell? And then I looked at it twice. I was like, oh, it says Flips. Oops. Silly me, but yeah, I've never seen this one. So I'm stoked to get just a little bit of classic fun out of this on the Rhino label. Kind of neat. So yep. That'll be fun at least one time through. I don't know why I got this. I mean, I do. Because this brings back great memories of college, like early on in college when before I, dropped out. But I played in marching band. I played in the University of Oregon marching band, and we played a lot of tunes by these guys. This guy, talking about Bill Chase, and just the group that he called Chase. Get it on in the morning now. Yeah, fucking great shit. Love Bill Chase. That's the only reason I bought this. So, yeah, it was clean as a whistle. Cool art, cool cover. I'll spin this for an afternoon and get a lot of kicks out of it and have some good memories on that cool classic yellow Epic label. Again, clean as a whistle. I just don't buy shit anymore that is any graded any lower than very good plus. I can't do it because I don't want to fuck up my stylus. Got a really good stylus these days. I'm very grateful, very happy with it. Dudes, I found a great pocket of a bunch of Willie Nelson, all in magnificent condition, and a lot of really cool, like kind of more, I wouldn't say rare, but just the stuff you don't run into a whole lot. I've never seen this. Phases and Stages. Yeah, 1974. Look at that handsome devil. My God. Love me some Willie Nelson. One of my very, very favorite country artists of all time. So stoked to dig into this one. Found a fucking Loretta Lynn album, sealed, whatever. It's just, a bargain bin, flimsy disc, on MCA, but it's like, whatever. I'll take a $1 bin record that is sealed. Love Loretta Lynn. She's fantastic. And it's called Entertainer of the Year, featuring the song Rated X. All right. I'm excited about that. Side 2 starts with a song called Hanky Panky Woman. I've never heard these songs by Loretta, so I'm stoked to crack that one open. Another small pocket of Willie. Yeah, I found a bunch of stuff. Found a live album by him, which is magnificent. Cool fucking cover. Love that art. I think this is like a Pickwick, maybe. Yeah, RCA. Oh, that's right. I don't know if the album is titled... Well, the album is just titled Willie Nelson Live. But they make sure that that it's got the hit song, I Gotta Get Drunk. Never heard that song by old Willie, so I'm really excited to listen to Willie Nelson's rendition of I Gotta Get Drunk. That would be fucking awesome. But of course, we've all seen this one time and time again. This is the Pickwick, Yeah, the classic. Well, what's this one called? Columbus, Stockade Blues, and Other Country Hits. Kind of a younger Willie there. Smash face Willie. Been on a fishing boat for a few hours, Willie. Yeah, very excited about that. Okay guys, getting down to the last little bit of it, just another quick reminder, scroll down to my video history, like and subscribe to all my shit that I got for you. Go to my contest, watch the video, follow the instructions, enter to win a cool prize. Just subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, share the channel. Yeah, thanks. Something very near and dear to my heart that I found a copy of it. I have like a collection of his stuff that I listen to quite a bit. I get a lot of great feelings from it. So I've never really bought a lot of this stuff individually on LP, but this one's kind of more rare. It pops up not quite as often as a lot of the other stuff, and just it's such a great film. It's such a magnificent film, and growing up in that era and just being absolutely terrified by this movie, it just scared the shit out of me for a fucking decade. Like, it's, I mean, it did the trick. Of course, yes, you know, legendary monumental movie Jaws and John Williams soundtrack. Immortal classic, you know, everyone knows, of course, the main title, but even greater hits, if you guys have ever heard that little tune that he did, the Out to Sea, you know, it really just goes like the raging sea. It's just like that song really does a lot of really fucking wonderful things, and all kinds of just rhythmic play up and down the scales with the instrument, you know, begins tons of just like classic concert flute, oboe, light percussion stuff, and then by the middle you get all these wonderful soaring trumpet and brass sounds, upper trombone sounds, and then it gets super dark and crazy, tons of percussion, and just like I said, just like the roaring sea. He was so fantastic. He's still, I mean, sorry, he's still alive, but he's so fantastic at just really visualizing, you know, music on a visual scale, and how you can just paint pictures, even if you've never seen the films. You know, his music makes you paint pictures in your mind. Yeah, love the shit out of this music. Pretty much everything he does has just been, you know, set in stone, immortalized. I can't think of anything by John Williams that I don't like. And there's so much out there that we don't even know about. Most people don't even know about. I never turned down a Frank Sinatra record. I don't know why. I don't even particularly like him that much. But every time I come across one, I have to get it. Did I already bring this out? This might be in a pile that like I already, because I've bought like 5 or 6 Sinatra records in the last month or two. So I might have already brought this one out. Old Blue Eyes is back. Well, yeah, this is the Old Blue Eyes is back. Kind of like 70s career, right? 74? Yeah. Even if I did bring it out already, I'm gonna talk about it again because I like the shit out of him. He's, you know, with him and Tony Bennett, they're probably my favorite old boys. You know, the crooners, the vocal jazz artists of the 30s, 40s, 50s. They're probably my favorites. So, like I said, every time I come across one, if it's clean, I buy it. It's fun for me. And of course, if I come across an absolutely immaculate copy of Billy Idol's Immortal Classic, is it self-titled? Is this one? This is his first. Yeah, self-titled Billy Idol in the shrink still. Cool. It's a nice day for a white wedding. You know, punk rock god icon. Pretty cool. Hey, little sister, do my hair. Here's in that one, the vein I was just talking about. I keep coming across Sinatra shit, but this one being, you know, his wife, right? Weren't they married for a couple years? That's where she got the name? I don't know. I don't know that much about the history of it. But here's Nancy Sinatra, and she's gorgeous. And the album itself is absolutely pristine. I like this original reprise label. Orange and rusty orange reprise label's cool. And that's what he released all his stuff on too, right? In the late 50s, early 60s. Never seen this one. Nice and easy. He's always just he's always just so laid back. Yeah. Old Blue Eyes. He ran the world for a while, didn't he? Bold capital label. Pretty cool. I've never really seen this one. This one I brought out already, but we were talking about show me your Atco. And so this, I can't believe I found this in such pristine condition. I mean, look at that. It looks brand fucking new. 1972, I think they released this. Yeah. And it's just got all about his career up to this point and ongoing. 70s were huge for Eric Clapton. Yeah, wonderful photography on the back. Really like classy double disc by Atco. So just a huge bulk of Eric Clapton's career up to this point in 1972. Pretty cool. He plays Layla on here. He plays Sunshine of Your Love. So yeah, you're gonna get the classics. Pretty cool. Cool find. Perfect condition. Very excited about that. All right, guys, I'll button it up. This was my most exciting find of the week. It's pretty cool. I love finding shit like this in the wild because you know that you see any, you're never gonna see any punk rock or metal or anything in the wild at the junk stores. I mean, never. You know what I mean? And finding a pristine copy of an AC/DC album, like the original press, Flick of the Switch, 1983. Like, there's no boogers all over it. No one spilt a beer. No one, cooked up a bunch of fucking heroin and dropped it all over here. Like, you know what I mean? It's, like, immaculate for $3. I'm really stoked about this. It's kind of just the antithesis to, the Back in Black thing. Same style. It's got the textured, AC/DC front, and as opposed to the Back in Black is just all solid jet black with the lightning bolts, and you can hardly see it. And I don't know, I kind of like it. I'm sure this album cover has probably gotten a pretty fair amount of shit in history, but I kind of, like I said, I kind of like it's like dark and light between Back in Black and this being back-to-back albums. The New Days, Brian Johnson singing, it's like, I don't know, it's a fucking great album. And finding a $3 copy of it in the wild really, really got me like half hard. It was awesome. All right, you guys have been great. Thanks for joining me this evening, talking about all my junk store finds. So yeah, that's another episode of Tales from the Thrift, starring yours truly, Aaron Meja. Signing off. Peace be with you, my nerds. Later.